Live from the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia. Tonight it is Game 6, the Celtics and Atlanta Hawks. Good evening, everyone.
You do that by slowing the ball down. The problem with that theory or strategy is that, we did that effectively in Boston, and they literally, the Atlanta beat the Celtics at their own game. They beat us in the inside game, and it was primarily Willis who was the main antagonist there. So in the case of Rivers, it will help the Celtics if they are able to slow the tempo down, because there's no question that his strength is in the open court, in the penetration game. In Willis's case, I'll tell you, the big guys just have to decide to lay a lot more muscle on him. They have to trap down on him much more quickly, because after passive initial 2 games, offensively, he's come alive. So now he requires the attention of those guards. They've got to drop down quickly and give who's ever guarding him as much help as possible, as quickly as possible. And then when the ball goes up, they've also been hurting us on the offensive board. So Willis, and especially Wilkins, who for him has had really a very soft offensive series, but he hasn't hurt us. He's shooting 40%, which is far below his season's average. He has not hurt us with his initial entry, but it's his second and third and fourth entry. No one made much of that slam dunk that he got him started in Boston on Wednesday.
That was a
spectacular play. So what I'm saying is he's doing his damage off the ball after the shot is taken. So, the simple answer is, well, box out before, tell all your front line to first be aware of those big guys crashing those boards before they make the move themselves. Since we theoretically want to walk the ball up and slow it down, it's easy to do that, because you're not anxious to get started down floor, so you can take one responsibility at a time. First control the defensive board, then get it to the guard, then walk it up floor, and it makes it a little easier to fulfill your boxing out responsibilities, but I think that's going to be extremely important, especially in terms of Willis.
The scores of the first 5 games of the series: the Celtics winning the first 2, 110 to 101, 108 to 97, and then they've lost the last 3, 110 to 92, 118 to 109, and 112 to 104. The last time the Celtics lost 4 games in a row at any point, regular season, playoffs, was the 4-game sweep by the Milwaukee Bucks back in 1981, the final year of Bill Fitch's reign as the Celtics head coach, when they were swept out by Milwaukee in 4 straight. So it is not a common happenstance to the Celtics, and you got to feel and got to believe that a club that has a Larry Bird, a Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Danny Ainge, and Dennis Johnson is not going to let it happen again this time. Our officials for tonight: Joe Crawford on the left, Darryl Garrettson on the right. The man in the middle, Paul Mahalik, is the alternate. So we've got the head of officials here tonight, Coos, and Darryl Garrettson, and certainly a man who is not going to be intimidated by any home crowd.
Well, 2 thoughts in that regard. Number one, the officials are going to play, I think, a decisive role, because if we're correct, and it is a defensive battle, a physical, intense battle under the boards, and that's where it's won, the officials are going to have to blow the whistle. Now, if they blow the whistle on one hand, it works in the Celtics' favor, because theoretically our big guys are going to be taking it to the basket, so if there's contact, we want the whistle blown. On the other hand, if our ranks are depleted, we obviously can't afford to get key people in foul difficulty as much as Atlanta can, I suppose, who goes 10 and 11 deep. The other factor that should be mentioned is that Darryl Garrettson, the senior official in the league, is an excellent one, maintains good control of the game with a minimum of whistleblowing. He, more than any other official, I think, is conscious of continuity of play. Let the boys play because I can control the game. Normally that works, and he does a fine job, but I'm saying this game has the capacity, to blow that theory apart, because I'll tell you, these guys are going to be banging tonight, and I would like to see both officials. In fact, even if the third official wants to blow from his seat on the sidelines, that'd be fine with the Celtics, I think.
Well, the Celtics starting 5 is out there: Ainge, Johnson, Parrish, Bird, and McHale. And here come the Hawks: Whitman, Rivers, Rollins, Wilkins, and Willis. Trey Rollins has been a force defensively in the middle in this series. He's had a series-high 9 blocked shots. and a key one the other night in the win at the Garden.
He's got great ability, but he shouldn't be that much of a force. We have not played intelligent basketball. It's as simple as that. Tonight we're going to have to.
They'll re-jump it as both Robert Parrish and Tree Rollins had the ball on their hands on the floor as they came back down. They'll try it again. Both men are 7 feet. Celtics control the tap. Ainge hits a three. Danny Ainge starts the game by burying a three-point shot.
Boy, is that a nice start. Danny came out very aggressively, offensively in the first quarter of last Wednesday night's game. The first time he's done that in the playoffs, but then he laid off again.
Air ball on the jump hook by Kevin Willis, and here come the Celtics. Ainge pushing it up. They get it in low to McHale. Kevin the little fall away. 5-0 Celtics. They hit their first 2 shots.
I'll tell you, the Celtics could really use a big game from obviously a 40-point game from a Bird, a 20 and 20 from the McHale or Parrish, or half a dozen three-pointers from Danny Ainge.
We had a foul down low on Dennis Johnson, fouling Doc Rivers, who took it to the basket.
Watch this. Dennis is going to try to step in on this penetration. This is what we were telling you. Bad call at the start. Dennis is standing there waiting for him. Plenty of time. Seemed to be squared off. You're going to see a lot of guys taking the hit tonight. They're going to be paying the penalty on those penetrators, looking to pick up that charge. That time it looked like it could have gone either way.
Doc Rivers has been shooting at 51% from the floor, 92% from the foul line, along with all the other outstanding statistics he's had in this series. Rivers gets the both free throws. He's in his 5th year, played his college basketball at Marquette, and was a #1 pick of the Atlanta Hawks. 5-2 Celtics, as Atlanta was pressing all over the floor after the made free throw. DJ finds Ainge, who finds Larry Bird, who takes it in the paint. Should have been a goaltend. Picked off by Wilkins, loses it in the open court, and Ainge comes up with it to Larry Bird. That should have been a goaltend.
Wilkins has had his moments, but I'll tell you, generally speaking, he has been wild and out of control most of this series.
Ainge, Robert Parrish trying to follow, can't get it. Wilkins comes out. It is 3-on-2. Whitman the pull-up. 5-4. The Celtics lead is 1. We have played a minute and a half here at the Omni in Atlanta. Celtics offense started sharp enough with Ainge hitting a three-pointer. They get it to Parrish low. That leaves DJ open from 17 feet. McHale the follow. Good job. Excellent box out by Larry Bird.
Need that kind of attack on the offensive boards for as long as we can sustain it. And when front line tires, that's when Akers and perhaps Gilmore will have to come in and continue the assault.
Bird the rebound of the missed Dominique Wilkins jumper, and Ainge pushes it down for the Celtics. They're on top by a score of 7-4. 9 minutes, 55 seconds left here in the first quarter. McHale the lead from Bird. Block. Second block shot for Tree Rollins. That gives him 11 in the playoff series so far.
See, McHale had his back to the play that time. He couldn't see Rollins coming over, but generally, when I said we hadn't been playing too intelligently, when you know the shot block is there with his potential, you've got to take advantage of it and look to lay down when you're penetrating on him.
Robert wheels on Rollins, and he hits. The Chief is shooting at 73% in these playoffs. He's had an outstanding series. The Celtics have jumped out to a 9-4 lead with 9.5 minutes left here in the opening quarter.
Celtic offense flowing nicely so far, complementing itself. The outside shot and looking inside. Rivers with a sensational dipsy-doodle move to the basket.
Rivers continues to be their best player in this series. Bird, count the hoop, and he's fouled.
Ainge on a
by Ainge.
Absolutely. Outstanding pass by Danny Ainge. Over the shoulder. Watch this. Sees Bird's man with his back to the basket. Wilkins, who's had difficulty guarding Bird throughout this series. Although, I'll tell you what, here in the Omni, Larry Bird has not shot well. Only 41%.
Yep.
In these Omni games, so nice time to have a big night for Mr. Bird.
Three-point play by Bird. It is 12-6 Celtics. The foul was on Wilkins, his first. The Hawks first as a team. Dominique pushes it down for Atlanta. McHale picking him up. Parrish is on Willis. Air ball. Up court it comes to McHale. Got Parrish with him, and on the wing it's Ainge. McHale tried to wheel in, but lost the ball. Rivers picked his pocket. Doc Rivers, cross-court. Bird got his hand into the passing lane, picked back up by Rivers. Whitman straight out. Bird the rebound. Ainge pushing it down for the Celtics. They lead by 6. Ainge looks for the foul. Yes! Count the basket, and he drew the foul. Outstanding play by Ainge. Watch this one.
Danny under control all the way.
He comes down, pulls up for the shot, gives the good ball fake. Whitman joins the paratrooper club. And I'll tell you what, I think that Danny really was not in the act of shooting until after he had gotten hit. And he really shouldn't be at the free throw line.
Ainge has 6, leads all scores. It's 15-6. Boston, they have taken the crowd pretty much out of the game. And to that end, Atlanta calls timeout. Timeout on the floor with 8:42 make it left in the first quarter. 15-6 Celtics.
Ball game. But you see what Boston has done on the road in the playoffs, and that is the fact that they should have realized that they can play a slow-down game and still be successful against Boston, especially here in Atlanta. And what they're trying to do, I think, is force the running game a little bit too much, and it's actually played into the hands of the Celtics, who have outplayed them in that area.
And I would bet that what you said in the open is coming true. They're just so pumped up, they have to feel like they have to run. Wilkins off the glass. His first point. Atlanta needs him. Dennis Johnson against Doc Rivers. 8:20 left first quarter. They go to McHale against Willis. Fakes, knocked away by Rivers. His second steal, both from McHale to Wilkins. To Willis. Beautifully done.
Now that's the way you get your running game going. Good defense.
15-10 is our score. Boston has the lead and the ball. 7:45 left in the quarter. Ainge drops it out. Gets it back. Finds McHale in the lane for the little hook. They are very, very patient. McHale has 6.
And they were lucky that they didn't see Robert Parrish, at least officials didn't, because he was in the middle for an eternity.
No more than 8 or 9 seconds, I did. Doc Rivers front court. Whitman against Johnson in this match. Rivers against Parrish. Shoots the foul line, jump short. McHale. Boston is playing very, very well in this first quarter. Parrish against Rollins. Jump shot. No. Rollins the rebound. Rivers didn't know what was going on there for a moment. Free just put it in his hand.
And stuck in a high limb.
Whitman over Bird. Yes. (17-12) as you see. Boston with the lead on the ball. McHale. Ainge works on Whitman on the right wing. McHale the pick, rolls to the hoop. They can't get him the ball. Now they do. He shoots the jumper and drills it. That's the shot Atlanta wants him to take, but he made it. Wilkins. Yes. (19-14), a very high-scoring first quarter. Dennis Johnson, Rivers from behind, took a swipe at it, couldn't get it. 10 on the shot clock. Ainge against Whitman. Parrish in the lane again, another good pass. Didn't get the roll, no goaltending call. Rivers. Whitman. Wilkins against Bird, jumped over him and missed. Tip no good. Next rebound, Dominique. Foul Bird.
Dominique is definitely geeked up, very active as you see him make that spin move. Bird with good defense. Nick knew he missed it, chased it down. 1 try, 2 tries on the 3rd try. They call a foul on Larry Bird, and he looked like he had nothing but basketball on that play, Skip.
Yes, he did. Rivers with the inbounds pass. 5.5 left in the quarter. 19-14, Boston. Willis set the pick. Rivers goes to the hole, misses, and a foul. Let's see what's on. Ainge is on the deck. The foul is on Parrish.
Well, Doc Rivers doing an outstanding job of getting the penetration here early in the ball game.
That's two on Parrish.
Celtics had defended them quite well, and Robert Parrish picks up another foul. That could cause some serious problems for the Boston Celtics.
Because they haven't gotten much off their bench in this series. On the average, they've been outscored 34-17 off the bench. Rivers misses the first.
See what he did in game number 5. And he was shooting at a 93% free throw clip until those 2 free throws.
Here comes Boston. Johnson to Bird. High arc, yes.
Outstanding shot by Larry Bird. Shree made him put an exceptional amount of arc on that ball.
But the Celtics are playing like the great team that they are. Long way to go. 5:05 in the first quarter. Wilkins, double team. Garland. He spun it up and in.
Not what you call your high percentage shot.
No. 4:55 left. 21-16 Boston. We're in the first quarter. Wilkins. That was intended for Bird. Rollins the interception. Rivers takes it to length. Nice head fake by Rivers.
Well, there's another example of the Celtics' inability to control the ball. Just a bad pass led to an easy basket on a great play by Doc Rivers as he throws the defense.
Timeout called by Boston, but Joey Crawford doesn't know it. The roar here is so great. Darryl Garrettson had called it some 10 seconds before the other official could hear what was happening. 4:38 left first quarter. We've just started in Atlanta. 21-18 Boston.
Here's a little screen's being set by Kevin Willis. Ainge goes into the screen. Parrish doesn't quite get over in time. There's only a little hole, and Doc sees it, cuts through. Ainge hits him on top of the head as he drives to the basket. But credit Doc Rivers with seeing the opening and taking advantage of it.
So Boston brings it up the floor. They lead by 3. In it comes to Parrish. Atlanta with a little pressure all night long, trying to wear the Celtics down. Hawks have scored 12 of the last 18 points in the game. But they trail by 3. McHale inside, banks it up and missed, tips it up and missed. Parrish, yes. His second basket. 23-18 with 4:10. Dominique, finger roll, won't go. Tip. Rollins rips it down, loses it, dives to the floor, and what's the call? I guess a jump ball.
What are they going to call now? I think it's a jump ball. Yeah, that's what it is.
The Hawk coaching staff very upset across the way. But that's what it will be, and that appeared to be the proper call, the jump.
I think they may be debating whether or not it should be Robert Parrish. Perhaps one of the other Celtics had gotten his hand down in there.
But it's going to be Parrish. And the tip is won by Atlanta. 3:52 left, first quarter. Rivers again drew the foul, shoots 2.
Let's watch Larry Bird working and maneuvering. He gets picked off by McHale. He was open, didn't see it, cuts underneath again, and Dominique working very hard to try and stay with Larry Bird. You can see what a difficult job it is when you get your teammates as an offensive player setting good screens for you. The guy that's guarding you feels like a pinball.
Dennis Johnson picked up his second foul. Jim Paxson into the game. And Johnson goes out.
It'll be interesting to see how effective Paxson is, having missed a lot of playing time with the back problem. Very easy to lose your timing, and when you're a shooter, you really need to have your timing to be effective.
A little pressure by Atlanta as Boston brings it up. 23-20 is our score. Parrish right down the middle, jams it over Rollins.
Well, those are the two players that Mike Fratello wanted to have handle the ball, McHale and Parrish, and they ran it like two little guys that time.
3:25 left in the quarter. Willis double team finds Whitman, finds Wilkins. For three, Doc Rivers way short. Rebound Boston. Danny Ainge with it. Spud Webb about to check into the Atlanta lineup. A whistle and a foul. I think Willis held McHale. We'll wait and see. That's what it is.
Let's watch the two big men running the break like little guys. There's a double team on Ainge. Now Parrish has got it. It's got Tree Rollins. Good passing. Right back. No dribbling. Take it to the basket. That's the way to run the break.
A high altitude give and go from Boston. Paxson behind a McHale pick. Goes base. Drives under the hoop. Finds Bird. Finds Paxson. Over Whitman. Way short. Rebound Rollins, who's had a big first quarter. Spud Webb handles it for the first time. Finds Wilkins. Hangs in the air. Yes. Dominique heating up. He has 8. A 3-point game again. Boston with the lead. And the ball.
A very fast-paced game. The type of pace that the Hawks like.
Parrish up top. McHale breaks away. And down goes Rollins. See if he's all right. The foul will be on Tree. He was trying to prevent the 2 points. McHale slammed on the brakes, and Rollins had nothing to hit but the hardwood.
Boy, and he bounced when he hit it. I jumped out of my chair having taken a few falls like that. The only fortuitous thing I would think, Skip, if you can find something good out of that, is he didn't land on his back. Let's watch the play again as Joe O'Toole, the trainer, out to try and help him. Here's the front, and the good lob pass is going to be coming in. A nice pass to get over Willis, and then Tree comes into the picture to help out, and whack. Ouch.
He's moving around, but he is really hurting as he rolls over onto his back.
The right hip, or his hip is looking, or they are looking at his left hip now, because it looked like that might have hit the floor with a great deal of force. And then when you're that heavy and you come from that distance, he really got vertical at about 4 feet off the ground and fell that distance right onto his hip. So I'm sure they're going to try and put some, well, I would imagine you got to put a little bit of ice on that right now. We'll see it again. Here comes Tree, number 30, coming into the picture. As he goes up, he gets hit. Nothing wrong on the part of Kevin McHale. He just, the right leg of Tree got knocked out and brought his legs up, and he hits the deck. And then you can see the left hip is what looked like hit the floor with the most amount of force.
He needs a lot of help to get off the floor. He's starting to walk a little better now, but we'll see whether he can come back.
There you see Tree Rollins, certainly one of the old-timers here, one of the original members of this Hawk team, and been hanging around. And Mike Fratello, assistant coach, and of course Tree wanting nothing more than to have an opportunity to try to play for a championship, and they've never really even gotten to play for the conference finals, and they have that opportunity here tonight if they can defy Boston.
McHale misses the first free throw. They take Rollins straight to the locker room at the bench. Mark Akers in. Parrish gets a rest with Rollins hurting. McHale makes one of the two and has 9 points. Here comes Atlanta. It's 26-22. If they score here, Atlanta will be as close as they've been since the first minute of the game.
Well, Hastings in the game, I think, has been doing a nice job, but of course he's not the shot blocking threat of Tree Rollins.
Willis bangs a prayer up, doesn't get an answer. Scott Hastings had it, lost it, and a foul.
Akers. The Hastings went in there, and he'll battle on the boards and do a good job for you.
Bruised left hip is the report on Rollins. They expect him to return. John Battle into the game for Atlanta. Randy Whitman goes out. And that's the big difference is Atlanta can run more troops at you who play effectively, generally speaking, than can Boston. Hastings is now 7 of 7 from the line in the playoffs.
And this is also a much quicker team, so they can even increase the tempo of the ball game.
Hastings tries again with 2:05 left in the quarter. He has played more in the playoffs than he did all year long. Ainge just does get the inbound. They go to the double team. McHale with it now. Trying to wear Boston down are the Hawks. As they run fresh troops at him. Paxson backdoors Battle. Commits an offensive foul. They call it a block.
just has to be thankful that it was Jim Paxson running at him. We'll watch the move again. We'll see the cut back door, the pass by Bird. Spud definitely, I think, was moving into the charging Paxson, and that was a good call on the part of Darryl Garrett.
That's a great thing about the replay. Live, I would have sworn that it was a charge, and the replay shows that it obviously was not.
Well, when I played, I used to think the officials made a lot more mistakes than I realized that they didn't make that many when I had a chance to start doing the TV work, and my respect for them has gone up immeasurably.
28-24, the score. Webb sails through a few, loses it, and a foul will be called on Paxson reaching in, I think.
And that was a break for Atlanta because Spud was totally out of control that time.
First on Paxson. That's got to be frustrating when you're 6'3" or 6'4" and 6'5", and all your life you've played guys 6 feet and above. And this little guy gets in there. He's like a little water bug. He zips all over the place.
No question. He really is. He's a pesky, feisty kind of guy. And there isn't anyone in the league who can stay with him. He has more quickness than anyone.
And he drills both the free throws. 28-26 against pressure. Paxson ahead to McHale. To Akers. He's got Ames alone. Now Webb jumps in. Ames changes it nicely out to McHale. Knock loose.
Offensive foul. That was great defense that time by the Hawks. They put the pressure on. They forced Boston to have to adjust to it, and they recovered beautifully when Boston made the passes.
A minute 35 left in the quarter. Atlanta has not been tied in this game as well off as being tied since 0-0. I don't believe. John Pavel on the left wing. Kevin Willis up top. Dominique, foul line into the lane. Up it goes. No, and a whistle and an offensive foul on Atlanta. See who it's on.
I think it's going to be Kevin Willis underneath, knocking Akers out of the way.
That's who it is. It's his second. And it's not an offensive foul. It was after the ball had been shot, so it's a 1-on-1 opportunity for Akers. Here comes Antoine Carr. Willis out with his second foul.
Well, Kevin Willis has had 2 spectacular games back-to-back for Atlanta to help their cause. And again, Mike Fratello with the luxury of being able to go to the bench and bring in a player like Antoine Carr who can do a lot of things. He can block some shots. He can run. He can post up. Got a decent 15-foot jump shot. Casey Jones does not have that luxury.
Akers puts the first one in there. 29-26. Boston by 4 again. The teams are even off the bench so far tonight, 4-4. Spud Webb up the floor for Atlanta.
That'll change.
If it doesn't, it's going to be a big story. Webb against Ames. Wilkins, great move. Ames heads the other way. Less than a minute in the quarter. There's your score. Dominique 5 out of 11. Bird beats it this time with a left hand short. Rebound, no. Rebound, McHale, yes.
Well, when you go to double, you allow big people to have little people on them on the offensive boards, and the Celtics are taking advantage of that right now.
Yeah, that's 3 or 4 times they have. Spud Webb, no. Bird. Here comes Ames. 32-28. 32 seconds left. Boston will go in a hurry here if they can. They do, but Ames missed. Rebound, Carr. Atlanta heads the other way.
Well, you want to take a good quick shot. That was not a good. That was a quick shot, but not a good shot.
Yeah, he was half right. Atlanta will have to shoot with about a half second left in the quarter. That's why the clock is still on. Webb drilled it. He didn't mess around. Bird gets it in. 4, 3, 2. Good if it goes. No. We got a good one going in Atlanta. The first quarter is in the books, and after 1, Boston leads Atlanta 32-30.
McHale's getting to the backboard. Their intensity is there. Should be a great basketball game.
That's Chuck Daly, the coach of the Pistons. That's easy for me to say, and we'll hear from Chuck as we go along here tonight. Spud Webb brings it up the floor. Antoine big. Banks it up. Through the foul. 3 on Parrish. And Boston now might be in some serious trouble.
You can see both teams why the score was so close. The field goal percentages even. Boston doing a nice job on the boards, an area that hurt them in the fourth quarter up in Boston the other night when the Hawks had a 13-4 edge in that department. Turnovers again. The Celtics being a little careless with the basketball, something that we have not been accustomed to seeing. They're usually an excellent passing team.
Carr misses the first free throw. Tree Rollins has returned to the Atlanta bench. I don't know if we'll see him again in this half. He may have to come out and get loose during the halftime intermission and then start the third quarter, but we'll let Mike Fratello make that determination. Carr makes one of the two. Give Fratello some credit for running right at Parrish and getting that third foul. Dirk Minifield in the game for Boston, and he handles the ball now. Minifield cross court to Dennis Johnson. Mark Akers up top. Minifield jumps. Nowhere near. Here comes Spud Webb. Webb crosses the line. On the wing, John Battle. Yes.
Skip, I should point out that the last foul was called on Minifield, not on Parrish, so that's why Robert's staying in the game. He still only has 2.
That's a big break for Boston that it was that way. Minifield on the left wing. Dennis Johnson up top. A minute has gone by in the second quarter. Bird, right-handed hook, won't go. Antoine Carr to Webb. Atlanta with the lead and the ball, and they're doing it with their second unit, as they have all year long. Livingston, Webb all alone. When he first came into the league, he could never make that shot. Now he makes it as often as not. 22nd time off Boston. Just listen to this crowd in Atlanta. Left in the half. Well, the first storm has been weathered by the Atlanta team. They're out on top, and this little guy's had a lot to do with it, Rick.
Well, and they're also creating some real problems for Boston now. They got the tempo of the game going in their favor. Here's Battle knocking in an outside jumper, an area of the game that the Hawks a lot of times are very improficient at, or unproficient, I should say, and then back down the next time, and it's Spud Webb dropping another one inside. So when the outside game is going, and they get the tempo of the game at this pace, the Atlanta Hawks are an outstanding basketball team, along with the good defense that they play. Their problem has been they haven't been able to get that type of consistency all season long, especially late. But they're doing it tonight against the Celtics in the biggest game of the franchise career, of the franchise history, I should say, here in Atlanta at least.
Reggie Lewis is checked in the game for Boston. He is seeing more playing time in the playoffs than he did in the regular season. What's the call? Foul.
Cliff Livingston with the foul, but after that, Casey Jones with a good 22nd timeout to try and stem the tide a bit, because things were certainly going in favor of the Hawks.
Atlanta by 3 after trailing by 9 early. Dennis Johnson still pointless in the game. Livingston, look at Webb. Goodbye. He's got 8, and he has lighted the match here for Atlanta in the second quarter. Reggie Lewis checked by Hastings. Battle knocked that loose, but Dennis Johnson crosses the line. McHale about to get back into the game. Dennis can't pass the ball. 6 on the shot clock. He maneuvers to the foul line, goes to the hole, banks it in. Down to the deck go Johnson and Carr.
Dennis Johnson hits the deck hard, but it looks like he's okay. Antoine Carr a little slow getting up as well.
Carr is called for the foul. Boy, Johnson for a while was trapped at midcourt. Carr comes up hurting.
We'll watch Dennis Johnson taking Spud Webb to the hole. He sneaks by him. Carr comes over to help out. Crashes into him. He caught a knee where you don't want to catch one. That's why Antoine was a little slow getting up.
That is understandable. And Dennis Johnson tries to convert the three-point play. His first points of the night come at a fortuitous time for Boston. Now the Celtics apply a little pressure. Spud Webb up the floor against Reggie Lewis.
He's got some fresh legs in the rookie Lewis. two youngsters in the game now for Boston.
Webb throws up a prayer, got no answer. Rebound. Livingston tosses it out to Carr. Livingston hands it back. John Battle. He may have walked. He did.
Mike Fratello didn't think so. His reaction on the sideline was to go over and get Doc Rivers to put him back in the ball game as a very concerned Larry Bird looks on.
Dennis Johnson up the floor. Johnson against Webb. Lewis against Battle. Carr has McHale inside. Akers against Hastings. Akers' turnaround shot won't go. There's Antoine Carr with another rebound. He eludes McHale and gets to the front court and wisely slows it down. Spud Webb handles the ball. Webb has been the big man for Atlanta, no pun intended, in the second quarter. He has played like he's 7 feet. 5 on the shot clock. 3, 2, 1. They throw it away, never did get a shot.
This team out in the court can do well in the transition game, but they don't run the set offense as well as the other players. That's a problem for them right now.
Akers finds McHale. And away from the ball, a whistle. And Hastings and Parrish bang at one another.
I think Mike Fratello realized that. That's why he's got Doc Rivers coming back in and also Dominique Wilkins to try and get a little more semblance of consistency with their half-court game.
Hastings' assignment, I would guess, is to try to coerce a third foul on a Parrish at this juncture. 8:25 left in the half.
Yeah, that and keep him off the offensive boards.
Bird works against Wilkins. Dennis Johnson, the open man. Carr jumps out to play him. And an illegal defense against Atlanta.
Well, that's because they had two men doubling Kevin McHale in the middle, and you can only double the ball.
That's the first one of the night, and Larry Bird will inbound. I had a coach ball.
The second one, and any subsequent illegal defenses means someone's playing zone instead of man-to-man.
Atlanta's turned up their defense a notch, and it has affected our half-court offense. We're starting to go individual, not getting the flow we were getting early on.
Bird whipping it in low to Parrish. The Chief with a jump hook for 2. We've had no further word on Tree Rollins. That's 8 points for Robert Parrish. No further word on Tree Rollins as to his injury or how long he'll be out. Celtics have tied the game. Wilkins misses the shot. Rebound loose. Kevin Willis doesn't get it. Battling for it. To the floor goes Reggie Lewis. And he was out of bounds as he went to the floor for it.
Celtics continue to have a little difficulty on that defensive board in the last couple of minutes. Also, the end of the first quarter. Watch this. Atlanta, you can see them over the backs. They're not going to call those kind of fouls unless it's a flagrant.
Reggie's hand went over the end line. Inbounds it comes to Willis, and now Doc Rivers. 7:45 to go first half, 37 apiece. Here in Game 6. Celtics win, and we'll have a 7th game Sunday. Atlanta wins, and it's over. Battle gets the good shot, the good drop. 39-37 Atlanta. They had opened up a 5-point lead. The Celtics have come back. Celtics' biggest lead early was 9 at 15-6. McHale floats, gets it low, and he is fouled by Battle. As McHale slipped in behind Willis and got an excellent feed from Bird. That'll put Kevin at the line for 2.
I'll tell you, this high lob pass in a game like this with the defense so intense is very dangerous. You notice how quickly that weak side got over there. We got the benefit of the call, but that could have gone uncalled just as easily. You really have to swing it over, in my opinion, swing it over when McHale is being fronted. You know, swing it to the foul line, and he's got to keep the man that's fronting him on his back. Rollins is back, as you can see. He's got to keep the man who's fronting him on his back, and they've got to drop the pass in from the foul line rather than go high lob. Anything that hangs in the air in a game where the defense is so alert and so intense is a dangerous pass.
McHale's 2 free throws tie it up, and even more importantly, that was there's Carr going through the middle, missing the shot. Dominique gets it, misses it, whistle and a foul. Going to be on, I believe, Robert Parrish. Yes, it is. And that'll be Parrish's 3rd personal foul. The foul on Atlanta was their team 4th foul. So the next time Atlanta fouls, the Celtics will be at the line. There's the foul on Parrish. Artis Gilmore will come in for the Celtics, replacing Robert Parrish with 3 personals. The Chief has been shooting well and rebounding well. So the A-train comes in.
This is the type of game that Gilmore defensively and on the backboard, in case he senses that he's starting to lose the backboard battle. type of game that Gilmore can obviously play a very meaningful role.
1 out of 2 for Dominique Wilkins, and Atlanta leads by a point, 40-39. You think Gilmore can be a value in this game?
Defensively and on the boards. You don't want to involve him in a half-court set because Atlanta is not letting him shoot. The minute he gets the ball, it takes Gilmore too long to wind it up.
Yeah.
They're fouling him, and they're going to gamble that he doesn't make the free throw. So don't involve him on the offensive end, but he can do some damage on the other one.
Reggie to the hoop. Block. Gets it back. Reggie digs it out. Has it slammed against the glass, and we're going to get an offensive foul on Reggie Lewis.
No, I think it just went out of bounds.
All right, okay. I thought he had called an offensive foul. My mistake. KC was standing in front of the ref. Okay, Atlanta leading by a point. John Battle. Reggie Lewis on him. They loop it in low to Antoine Carr. Nice move. Carr, 6'9", 235-pounder. Nice smooth move for him. Atlanta leads by 3. 42-39, 6.5 minutes to go first half.
Weak side of the Celtics defensive line. A little slow getting over there to give Bird help.
Larry looking inside. Trying to go on Dominique. Ball away by Bird. Larry now with 7 points in the ball game. His first basket of this quarter. There's your score. Hawks by a point.
Bird will become more effective in the second half when the defense loosens up just a little.
Willis getting it to Carr. Hawks leading by 1. An intense game here in Atlanta, as we expected. Open is Battle. DJ came over quickly. Battle. Fall away jumper from the baseline. Tough shot. 6 points off the bench for John Battle. He's hit all 3 shots he's taken.
Now, Battle is the kind of guys we set on top that can do a lot of damage if you don't take him seriously. That hasn't been the case. Celtics have taken him seriously. Very good effort on him. Follow-up of his own missed shot.
But we have a foul called on Antoine Carr that'll put 2 as the Hawks went over the limit on that foul by Carr. And the Celtics, Coos, still have 2 fouls to waste here with 5.5 minutes to go in the quarter, so that's advantageous to them. They're at the line, and they keep Atlanta at least defensively bottled up a little bit with those 2 fouls to waste.
I'll tell you, the game has had such a frenzied pace that it's kind of difficult to take advantage, at least of subtle strategies, you know. Other than, wow.
Larry teased everybody in the house on that one. Then shakes his head as he drops a couple of feet behind the foul line. Now back up for number 2. Got it all. 1-point game, 44-43. Rivers on the inbounds to Wilkins. Dominique brings it back, takes it inside, loses the ball, and a foul is called on whom? Kevin McHale. And that will be his second personal foul, and Wilkins is at the line.
I said someone just runs into McHale. Well, no, at this point, well, Wilkins just finds an opening between Gilmore and McHale. Kind of squeezes it out. They're going to call. They're going to be so anxious to maintain control. They're going to call any contact like that. You know, there may be fouls or non-fouls that they normally would ignore during the regular season, but again, in a game like this, I think they're going to react the other way and probably overcall.
Celtics have Johnson, Ainge, McHale, Gilmore, and Bird out there. Atlanta countering with Battle, Rivers, Wilkins, Willis, and Carr. Bird, no. Rebound, McHale, no. Rebound, Ainge. Whistle, foul on Atlanta. Danny will shoot 2. Good hustle by Ainge off the offensive glass. And McHale.
That's nice effort. Bird continues cold from the outside. But McHale with a nice effort keeps it alive. Watch this. Almost made a very difficult backhanded lefty tip there.
Tree Rollins comes back in for Atlanta, replacing Antoine Carr. Rollins' injury was diagnosed as a bruised hip. He's back into the fray. Ainge drills the first free throw. 1 more coming for him. 5:06 left first half. 45-44, and Danny can tie it here. Does not.
Now the shooting will be probably under both teams' numbers for the season in a game like this.
It is right now.
Including from the free throw line. So it's going to be defense that rebounding that make the difference.
Illegal
defense.
Illegal called against the Celtics, their first one, so it's a possession call. Now each team has an illegal defense call against it, so neither one can commit the offense again. Otherwise, they'll be giving away technical free throws. Alley-oop from the inbounds, battle to Rivers. Nice play.
Celtics fell asleep on that one.
10 points for Doc Rivers. Atlanta by 3. Ainge with battle on him. Bird cutting through foul line. Ice cream. Gets it. That one was like stealing for Larry Bird. Larry now with 11 points and 6 in a row. Back Wilkins outside, off target. Rebound goes from Gilmore to Bird to Dennis Johnson. Celtics trail by 1 as they bring it down. 4:15 to go here in the half. DJ. McHale trying to set up shop low, being guarded close and tough by Willis. Reach in foul on Atlanta. I think Kevin Willis is the man who got called. He did. That is 3 on Kevin Willis. And that'll put McHale at the line. Mark Akers is in, replacing Artis Gilmore.
Celtics have displayed good patience in terms of looking for that inside game. They haven't produced that much as a result of it. But that, again, is because of the defensive pressure. You know, I was reading after Wednesday's game that it said we went away from McHale in the fourth quarter. It wasn't by design, really. Atlanta has been doing a very effective job, and Kevin Willis, as we said earlier, in making the pass into McHale. Extremely difficult, especially when Willis is fronting. What they do is keep extreme pressure on the ball, the man trying to make the pass, front McHale, and now invite that lob pass, and the support defense has been very alert, so the Celtics were reluctant to force it in, and it just didn't get into McHale in that fourth quarter.
The 2 free throws by McHale give him 15 in the game, and the Celtics lead by 1. Willis is out. Cliff Livingston has replaced him for Atlanta. Willis with 3 personals. Atlanta having to swing the Bird steal. Great play by Bird. Ainge, offensive foul. Tough break. Tough break. That was a great play by Bird. Then he turned, tried to come up court with it. Is called for an offensive foul. Watch this. There's Bird making a marvelous play. Offensive foul on Ainge.
Well, that's one advantage the little guy has in this league, right? The officials feel sorry for you.
Tough break. What a play by Bird. Atlanta will put the ball in play. Webb. Rivers going to try to bring it inbounds to Rollins, and he does. Now to Spud Webb as battle has gone out. 1 point Celtics lead. 3:40 to go here in the first half. It has been intense. Dominique through the air. Off the glass.
He likes to use the backboard.
Doesn't he?
Yep, and does it effectively, as you can see.
14 in the game now for Dominique Wilkins, and Atlanta leads by 1, 49-48. 3:20 to go. First half. DJ finds Ainge. Bird looking to come off the pick. DJ takes it all away. Oh, no. Rebound, yes, McHale.
McHale doing a nice job on that offensive board. That's about his 3rd made tip in, and he's had a couple of others that could have done it.
Celtics by 1, 50-49. Dominique now with Larry Bird on it. Dominique starts to drive, lets it go for 2. What a battle this is. Great duel between these 2 clubs here in the first half. Atlanta by 1. Dominique Wilkins now has himself 16 points in the game. McHale has 17 for the Celtics. Ainge around the Bird pick. Gets it. No. McHale follows. Goaltending. Count the hoop. Goaltending. Tree Rollins. McHale doing a superb job off the offensive board.
Good penetration by Ainge also. Thought he had his layup. He had to put a little more height on it. And with Rollins back in the game.
Celtics by 1, 52-51. Spud Webb looking to isolate probably Dominique. He starts to go. Turn around. Dominique now has 19 to match McHale, and the teams continue to trade the lead here. Atlanta back up by 1.
Dominique starting to carry the offense by himself. He's capable of doing that.
Bird has it ripped out of his hands, picks it back up, and we have a foul called here. Or do we? What do we have? I have no idea what we have because I'm not getting a signal from Darryl Garretson. I do know there's a timeout with 2:02 to play here in the first half. 53-52 Atlanta. The Omni, the Celtics are down by a point. We're going to have a jump ball when play resumes. And now let's go to Bob Gamir out somewhere in the stands.
Oh, I've got Mike with me. Hey, Mike, tell me, are you a little bit worried about the Celtic tradition?
Well, I respect the tradition because that's what we're trying to be like. And Boston set the tone, and I'm going to keep the pace.
You think so? You're not a little bit worried at all?
I'm not too much worried right now. You know, we got no pressure on us. We go back to Boston and win if we have to. But we want to do it tonight for the Atlanta Hawks.
All right, I usually say enjoy the game, but this is sort of a tough one to really say enjoy. Let's go back to Gil and the ball game.
All right, Larry Bird jumping with Doc Rivers. And it's controlled by the Celtics. Dennis Johnson. Akers on the cut for two. Mark Akers.
Good job by the rookie. Used his body very well, shielded the big guy off, and then held on to the shot long enough so he couldn't block it. Good job.
Celtics back up by one. Webb dumping it off inside. Loose ball being batted around. Livingston, no. Battle for the rebound. Loose ball foul on the Celtics. No, on Atlanta. No, it's Atlanta. All right. Going to be on whom? Tree Rollins. That is the second personal on Rollins. The loose ball foul will be putting Celtic Mark Akers at the free throw line. Kevin walked over the line hoping he could take the free throw.
Well, it looks already.
Sure, he would much rather play the Atlanta Hawks.
Well, he gets the home court advantage. Akers to the foul line.
There's Dick Versace, the man from Glad, and Ronnie Rothstein to his left.
Yeah, it looks like a great Brillo path. Have a nice night, Dick. Akers makes them both. 1:40 left. Boston has opened up a 3-point lead. It's going to be anybody's game at halftime. It's going to probably be anybody's game with 30 seconds left. 10 on the shot clock as Webb operates. He goes to the hole, banks it up, and won't go. There's Larry Bird, and Boston can tiptoe up to a 5-point margin. Akers front court. Into the lane. Blocked and taken out of the air by Rollins, his third. Here comes Rivers. Great pass to Webb. Drops it off. Wilkins. That's the Atlanta Hawks at their best, Rick.
Exactly right. A quick shot by Akers, ill-advised against heavy traffic inside, led to a break opportunity for the Hawks, and they capitalized.
Boston by 1. 50 seconds till halftime. Bird off to Akers. Threw it out to Ainge. I don't think he meant to. Ainge misses. There's Webb again. He's every place. He leads another Atlanta break. Down under Wilkins. Foul, 2 shots. Boy, that's Spud Webb, I'll tell you what. It's a long way to go, but he's the man of the hour in my mind so far.
Well, now you also see why Casey's might be a little reluctant to go to his bench. That's 2 consecutive plays. Akers tried to force plays that really weren't there. The end result was that the Hawks got a dunk, almost a second one, and on the second one, Dominique is going to get 2 free throws.
Third on Dennis Johnson.
Now let's take a look at that first dunk that Dominique was able to get after Doc Rivers gets it to Spud. He draws 2 defenders, hits Dominique, who takes it home, and that's outstanding ball playing on the part of the Hawks.
So it's Atlanta by 1. 35 seconds till the break. And both these teams can use the halftime intermission. They have gone all out.
By far the best game, I think, of the series.
McHale against the double team. Dennis Johnson is open from 19 feet. Yes. They dared him, and he took the challenge. He has 5.
Well, he takes the challenge quite often and delivers, or has delivered on many occasions.
Atlanta has all the time remaining in the half to get this shot up. Webb against Ainge. Spud penetrates. Left hands it up. No. Rebound off the deck. Rollins. No foul, and the half is over. It's a 1-point game at the break, and the Boston Celtics, facing elimination, have the lead. 58-57 our score. Craig Sager will be along at halftime. Then we'll be back at the Omni. And for you Braves fans who are loyal watchers, we don't have a score yet, but we'll try to get one for you and let you know how they're doing tonight in Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, back to the game. It's game 6, in case you aren't aware of that, and Atlanta has a 3-2 lead. And And Rivers brings it up against Ames. The third quarter is underway. Wilkins was hot. In and out. Rollins kept it alive. It wouldn't go. And Danny Ainge the rebound. I know Wilkins was sorry to see the first half end as hot as he was at that juncture.
Well, you see, he couldn't wait to get another shot up. And that was a good-looking shot, and he just got a tough bounce.
Bird knocked away by Rivers off the foot of Bird. And Atlanta has it back. Doc Rivers having a super playoff series.
And I would give him a steal if I were the statistician, because he caused the turnover. It's just as good as a steal. You get possession of the ball.
They go to Wilkins now against McHale. He gets by him, goes to the foul line. In and out for the second time in a row. Bird the rebound. Wilkins slapped at it, couldn't get it. Neither team has scored in the first minute of the third quarter. Bird turns, he misses. Here comes Rivers for Atlanta. Randy Whitman back in the game. We haven't seen much of him tonight. Rivers, yes, Atlanta by 1. If Boston wins tonight, Game 7 is Sunday in Boston. If Atlanta wins tonight, the Celtics will be teeing it up around 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Bird. Baseline, I mean the golf ball. Larry has 13. 60-59. Boston by 1. The lead has changed hands 13 times as Rivers has his second basket of the half.
Now 14. That was the 13th.
That was the 13th.
Okay.
Ainge goes baseline, drives into the hoop, dishes it out to Dennis Johnson. Ainge has it back over Rivers. Yes, sir. These two teams have been cooking offensively all night long. There's your 14th lead change, 62-61.
Well, I knew it would happen sometime.
Your perspicacity is amazing. Whitman. Nope. Rebound McHale.
And if you can't spell it, don't say it.
Then I shouldn't have said it. Bird with a hook. He has 15. The ball is knocked loose. Joey Crawford runs it down.
Again, this is still a pace I think that the Hawks would like, and you would have to think if it continues this way for the entire ball game that the Hawks would have a bit of an edge late in the fourth quarter.
Cliff Livingston about to check into the Atlanta scheme of things. Whitman wants to hit Willis, can't get it done. Wilkins up top, 7 on the shot clock. 9:05 left in the quarter. For 3, Rivers.
Doc's doing it all for the Hawks in this series.
McHale breaks away from Willis. Got the layup. He almost missed it. McHale with 21. He's having a big game. 66-64. The Celtics lead. 8:40 left. Third quarter. Dominique almost and did walk. He took steps before he could unload it. Livingston into the game. And Dominique will go up. And Dennis Johnson heads up the floor against Rivers. 8:25 left third quarter. Bird has it deflected away by Rollins. Atlanta can tie the game. The hot man is Rivers. Livingston makes his first basket of the night. He's 1 for 3. So Mike Fratello pushed the right button there. Tie game. Pressure by Atlanta. Dennis Johnson spins by Rivers. Oh, what a pick by McHale. Dennis Johnson.
I tell you what, Dominique Wilkins was not happy about coming out of the ball game, and Mike had to go over and talk to him, and he's not a pleased player sitting there right now.
Whitman. Rollins is fouled. He'll shoot 2. The 3 is 13 of 13 13 at the line in the playoffs. Looks for his first point.
Here you're going to see the pass inside to Larry Bird. Tree Rollins over to help out. Bird tried to pass it off to the cutting Parrish, who was open. Knocked away by Rollins. Livingston gets it over to Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers will get it back to Livingston, and Livingston with the move and over Dennis Johnson for the 2 points. And the Hawks have done a lot of that, getting the opportunities off of good defensive plays.
There's Rollins' first miss in the playoffs. He still seeks his first point of the night. 68-66 Boston. 7:40 left third quarter. He missed them both. Hawks have missed 7 free throws. Boston 2. Dennis Johnson across the line. He goes to the hole. Yes, nice shot. And right now, Boston up by 4. Rivers fumbles, gets it back. And Parrish jumps in, anticipates the Rivers back. Right now, Boston taking the play away from Atlanta. Here comes Spud Webb and Dominique Wilkins. Parrish beats Willis, easy layup. Rather, McHale. Timeout called by Atlanta, and right now the Celtics are on the prowl. 7 minutes exactly remaining in the third quarter, and Boston has vaulted to a 6-point lead. We'll be back.
Hurting themselves here. I don't like the pace of the game. If I were a Boston Celtic player right now, it's pretty quick, but they made a nice play here and got a good transition off of it.
They're doing a good job defensively. They picked up a couple steals, and here Parrish working very hard, gets lane, finds Bird. Bird always comes to the spot. They get it up court, and you'll see him very quickly dump it into McHale, who's wide open underneath, makes the easy shot going in. He's just made about 3 in a row, and they're creating a lot of problems with steals and pushing the ball up the floor themselves.
That's the voice of Chuck Daly, the coach of the Pistons, a team that will meet either Boston or Atlanta, depending on how things go, in the Eastern Conference Finals. You know, Rick, I remember years ago you were with CBS and I was doing the Hawks. It was a Washington-Atlanta playoff game, and we were talking before the game, and you said this is going to be like old Roman times.
Yeah, they'll be holding no prisoners. I mean, this is really, as Don Nelson said yesterday on the telecast when he was doing the game with Bob Neal down in Dallas, that the Hawks have to treat this like it's a 7th game, and that's exactly the way that they've come out. They've gotten themselves in a bit of a hole here, but they responded in the first quarter when they fell behind.
Webb back in the game. Rivers for 3, got none. Willis, he can't get it going. And now he's fouled. If it's Parrish, it's 4. Fourth foul.
Well, they needed Kevin Willis to assert himself on the boards. He was sort of disappeared in this ball game, got in a little foul trouble, and right away Casey Jones sending Mark Akers in and Robert Parrish to the bench. And this is a great opportunity for Atlanta to take advantage of the veteran Parrish going to the Boston bench.
And a lot of pressure on Mark Akers in this spot. Rivers up top against Dennis Johnson. Wilkins. Webb back to Rivers into the lane with a left hand. Won't go. 2-shot opportunity.
Kevin McHale with the foul. That's 3 now on Kevin.
This program authorized under rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Well, again, penetration is just so essential to a team's success. When you have a player like Doc Rivers who can get inside, he causes so many problems for the big men, and you get offensive rebounds off of that. And I know Chuck Daly, who's watching this, thrilled that he's got a couple of guys who can do a good job of that.
Mike Fratello isn't thrilled that Rivers has scored all but 2 of the Atlanta points in this quarter. Here comes Spud Webb. 72-68, 6 minutes left, third quarter. Boston has the lead. Atlanta has the ball. 5 on the shot clock. Willis, they desperately want to get him in the offense, but he can't get it going. He took a terrible shot.
Yeah, if he had gone strong to the basket, McHale was there guarding him. It could have been 4 on McHale. Instead, he took a left-handed fadeaway, and he has trouble with the right.
Dennis Johnson. McHale wheels by Rollins. Block Rivers. Foul. Oh, they're going to call an offensive foul. McHale has 4.
Well, that puts a lot of heat on Casey Jones right now as to what to do. And he's looking down the bench, decides to go with Fred Roberts,
who has not played at all tonight, and who is averaging just 2 points in the playoffs. First team foul on Atlanta.
Chuck, this foul situation, when you're a coach, you have to have a nightmare with these situations existing.
Yeah, that was a crucial situation. They had McHale with 4. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it to the offensive player to go against because they got him out after the play. But we're looking at 17 minutes, and the 2 crucial big guys have 4 each.
Let's see how Boston performs now with both of them on the bench. They go, of course, to Bird. Willis the rebound. Here comes Webb. It's still Boston by 4. 4:45 left, third quarter. Carr, he's doubled. Roberts against Webb. Webb on the run. Atlanta can't throw it in the ocean. Akers the rebound. Mark Akers up top. 4:20 left, third quarter. Johnson into a posted Akers. Knocked away. It's on the deck. Out of the pack, Rivers. He's got Wilkins with him. Rivers will shoot 2.
That's a smart play on the part of Doc Rivers. He saw Ainge coming at him to take the foul and immediately went into the act of shooting. Danny Ainge tried to make an intelligent play by grabbing him before he did that. So excellent strategy on both players' parts. But again, the defense of the Hawks is in there. Akers inside. Back in is Doc Rivers, who knocks it loose. Spud gets it. It gets off to Rivers. Now watch Danny Ainge come into the picture. Now he's going to go for the foul. Rivers gets bumped and throws it up. Actually, he started to throw it up after the shot.
Doc has 20.
The biggest problem now for Boston is going to be with all of these players in the ball game is trying to execute their offense as effectively. They don't have the big men inside to have their inside game working. They may try to go to Larry Bird too much in this situation.
Atlanta has their horses in there, but they can't execute either. Ainge fades away on the dribble. Roberts spins in and is fouled. Who got it? Spud Webb. Only his second, only the second team foul with 3:51 left. Mike Fratello with defensive instruction. Ainge against Webb, who plays him aggressively. Atlanta has some fouls to burn here. Nice shot by Ainge. Against the pressure, he's got 11. And Boston by 4 with 3:32. Atlanta's offense is just flatter than a pancake. Antoine Carr, he can't buy it. It's on the deck, out of bounds. Atlanta's ball. The Hawks have only 4 field goals in the quarter. Just checked in. 3:18 left in a low-scoring quarter. Battle shoots the jumper. Nope. Rebound, Dennis Johnson. Ahead, Fred Roberts against Antoine Carr. Carr checks him. Up top, Dennis Johnson. Less than 3 minutes left in the quarter. Neither team shooting very well after brilliant offense in the first half. Ainge for 3, and he got him. What a shot.
I'll tell you, the Celtics are really dodging a bullet here with both Parrish and McHale on the bench. The Hawks, as you pointed out, have not been able to take advantage of it offensively.
Wilkins finally gets one to roll. His first basket of the quarter. Only the 5th by the Atlanta team. Boston has 9 field goals in the period.
And remember, Red Auerbach said a bench isn't that important. Well, they better hope that Boston's bench comes through for him here.
Ainge, Akers, good pass. Roberts slam.
And so far they are. They've actually increased the lead with their two of their key players on the bench. What a plus for the Boston Celtics.
A 7-point lead. Boston led by 9 early. 79-72 the score.
Everybody's standing around, Skip.
They sure are. Atlanta goes through these sinking spells. Wilkins. He's got 26. Boston 10 of 14 from the field in this quarter, 71% now. Haynes against Webb. Drew the foul, missed the shot. 2-shot opportunity.
A little pushing and shoving underneath between Roberts and Antoine Carr.
Now Carr walks away. Roberts continues to talk it over with Wilkins. That's Chuck Daly. Danny Ainge to the foul line to shoot 2.
And Danny Ainge has really come on here to take up the offensive slack with Parrish and McHale on the bench with 4 personal fouls. Danny's knocked in a 3-pointer, a jumper, a couple free throws. He's done an excellent job.
And again, a 7-point lead, 81-74, and they've done it in this quarter without Parrish and without McHale. But you see, Atlanta's offense has just come to a shuddering halt. Look at them all stand around here. Wilkins throws it away. Atlanta looks like they're playing a 4-corner.
And now Casey's given Larry Bird a rest with Lewis in the ball game, so you have 3 of the bench players in with the 2 starting guards, and they're doing an outstanding job. And of course, they've got some good legs and some energy left to play some good defense.
Dennis Johnson to Ainge, who's had a big quarter, and he continues to roll. He's had a tough playoff, but he now has 18, 11 in the quarter, and they match their biggest lead, 83-74. Less than a minute. You see the time remaining, and a foul on Lewis.
I'd say the bench has been really alive with the Boston Celtics. The coaching staff especially. They have been so animated, jumping up and down, reacting to all the calls.
Kevin Willis has had a tough night for Atlanta. 7 rebounds, but he's 1 for 7 from the field, has only 2 points. He had been averaging 18 in the playoffs. Ainge had been averaging 12 in the playoffs and already has 18 in this game. So there's 2 contrasting players tonight.
Well, you know, so many times you see a situation where key players from the opposing team get into foul difficulty. They have to go to their bench, and perhaps the offensive team lets down a little bit. The team that thinks they have an advantage, and they stop playing as hard or doing the things that got them the lead. And this seems to be the case with the Hawks. They've all of a sudden got no movement in their offense, standing around a lot, and now they're trying to go ahead and have their defense do something.
And a 20-second timeout called by Boston, and I think that's a good move by Mike Fratello. To see if you guys agree with me. Get something going to get your team back on the track, be it offense or defense.
Well, they've certainly been standing around a lot, and as Chuck even pointed that out,
catching the ball, standing, and they want to win the game, so they're trying to beat 1-on-5, and it's just not working right now. They need to get in the open floor to be effective.
83-76, 38 seconds left in a quarter that has belonged to Boston. Ainge has been hot. He forced that one, missed it. Rebound, Wilkins fumbled, and has it knocked loose. And a foul on Roberts. Seconds left in the quarter. The Celtics are opening it up with Mark Akers, Fred Roberts, Reggie Lewis, Danny Ainge, and Dennis Johnson.
And Larry Bird's going to come back in for the last offensive play for the Boston Celtics. Nice move on the part of K.C. Jones. But from Atlanta's standpoint, if they can knock this other free throw in by Dominique, that cuts it to 5. Play the good defense and come down and score. They can knock it down to 3 or less. They will have, I think, weathered a very difficult period of the ball game where they have gone very flat, and they could be in good shape going into that 4th quarter.
You got to give those maligned Boston reserves some credit. They played with great poise so far tonight. Ainge spots up, now goes to the hole. That's blocked away. Roberts with the rebound. He puts it up. It won't go. Wilkins the rebound with 14 seconds. He's got Lewis behind him. Now Ainge hawks it. Atlanta can move to within 3. They trailed by 1 at halftime. say the quarter is over. At the end of 3, your score: Boston 83, Atlanta 78. Stay with us. In the third quarter, their lead is 5.
Mike Fratello has answered by getting Tree Rollins back in to match up against Robert Parrish. The only non-starter in is Antoine Carr for Kevin Willis, who's been having a very poor performance offensively tonight.
Bird has had a quiet evening offensively. And it stays that way. Carr the rebound. Bird with 15. Rivers up top. Atlanta's got to get it going. Carr can't hit the 4-footer. Boy, this Boston team plays with composure. Dennis Johnson against Doc Rivers. Reggie Lewis forced it, missed it. Rollins the rebound. Rivers past Johnson. Nice shot. Rivers has 23. 13 of the 23 second half points scored by Atlanta. 83-80, 10:55 left. Foul Rivers, prayer to all of them. Here comes McHale. There goes Fred Roberts, who did a good job for Boston. First foul on Rivers, first team foul. The team fouls in this quarter could decide the game.
I guess Casey thought the ride was getting a little too bumpy, so he brought the big fellas back in right away.
Bird misses, but the follow by Lewis. And again, they get some help off the bench. 85-80. Boston with a lead. 10:30 left in regulation. I started to say in the game. That may not be the case. Randy Whitman in there. Atlanta hopes he can get his jump shot going. Wilkins for 3. No. Rebound. Lillard. Dennis Johnson with it.
They wanted an offensive goaltending, or defensive goaltending on that play, and they didn't get it.
McHale. Carr jumps in to play him. Larry Bird. Back to McHale. Up top, Dennis Johnson. Nobody near him. It won't go. Rollins the rebound. Still a 5-point game. 9:55 left. No foul.
Robert Parrish has really not done much for the Celtics, even when he's been in the game, as far as rebounding.
Larry Bird. Wilkins reached in, committed the foul. Second team foul. Lewis goes out. Ainge into the game.
Kevin Willis also has come back in for Mike Fratello's Hawks, and see if he can get himself untracked offensively.
Not much offense in the second half. And the shots have been there. Both teams have just missed it. Ainge against Whitman. McHale bangs against Kevin Willis. Ainge with 8 on the timer for 3, and he got him. Boy, what a game he's having. He's got 21. 88-82. He's 3 out of 4 on 3-point hoops tonight. 9 minutes left. Rivers into the lane. Drops it off to Kevin Willis. Back it comes to Rivers. McHale plays Wilkins. Rivers on the run. Way short. McHale had it. Lost it. Parrish with it. Atlanta's offense is absolutely stagnant.
And I tell you, I think the Boston Celtics are showing you why they've made 4 consecutive trips to the NBA Finals. They're playing an outstanding ball game, tough situation.
And if they get him going, you can turn the lights out in Atlanta. Timeout called by the Hawks as they try to slow it down. But
what has happened is they've only scored 25 points in the second half. And those 5 missed free throws, free throws become so important in a playoff game because you can go through droughts like this. They've got to get loosened up and get better shots.
I think there's a good example of the lack of ball movement. Rivers with only 3 assists tonight shows you exactly how stagnant the offense has been for the Atlanta Hawks here, especially in the second half.
Wilkins can't buy it. Livingston the rebound. He's knocked down by Willis, and they'll give the ball to Boston. The crowd goes crazy, but that's the correct call. It was his own teammate that knocked him down. Rivers has been averaging 9.5 assists in the playoffs. When nobody's moving without the ball, it's a little tough to get it to him. Boston can build their biggest lead of the night. McHale, nope. Rebound, Rivers. They go to Willis. He's hit as he misses. McHale picks it up. His 5th. Guess is that KC is just going to stay with what brung him, as the old saying goes.
I would think that both players, McHale and Parrish at 4, McHale at 5, will stay in until they foul out of this game because they've got the lead and KC wants to try and hold on to it.
3rd point of the night for Willis. He got a nice foul. 90-84.
Now all of a sudden the lineup with Dominique Wilkins now playing the 2-guard position, which they did in the 4th quarter in Boston. It worked so beautifully.
Bird blocked Livingston. McHale blocked Willis. Here comes Wilkins. And away from the ball, a whistle. Let's see what we have.
I think it's going to be a foul on Bird. Watch the great defense on the part of the Atlanta Hawks with that big lineup inside. Bird makes the move. Livingston's right there with him. He goes up and knocks it away. Bird gets it back, saves it to McHale. Right there to block it again is Kevin Willis, and the Hawks back to live action with a chance to cut into that 6-point lead.
Rivers dribbles with 15 on the shot clock. 7:25 in the game. Dominique. It won't go. He gets another opportunity. Won't go, and he finally got it.
That was just sheer willpower and determination on the part of Dominique Wilkins.
Atlanta appears to be making their move. They're down 4. Bird against Livingston. Oh, he is something in the clutch. He's got 19, 6-point Boston game. Rollins, Cliff Livingston go over to Mike Fratello and visit with him.
Technical foul on the illegal defense.
Wilkins shoots the tee and has 33. Atlanta will inbound on the side with 6:52 remaining. It's a 5-point game. Rick Barry, Skip Carey from the Omni. Chuck Daly alongside the coach of the Pistons as well. We're in the 4th quarter, and it has been a beauty. Rivers against Ainge, and a foul on Wilkins is on the deck, and a foul against Boston.
He got hit in the face and rung the bell a little bit on Dominique. Obviously, it's a good thing he's not a fighter because that wasn't a great shot, but it shook him up. But what happened is Larry Bird, you're going to see, is going to turn his head right there. He has no idea where the ball is. Very rare for Larry Bird. A good team defensive player turns around. He's surprised. There's the foul drawn, and Dominique gets hit in the side of the face by the left arm of Larry Bird. But that was a rare occurrence of Larry Bird losing sight of the basketball on defense.
Atlanta can move to within 3. Rivers has 26. Wilkins has 33. No one else with more than 8 for Atlanta. It's a 3-point game. They're on their feet again.
Trouble this half. They're 13 for 15 to 2 for 2 for Boston.
Dennis Johnson up the floor. It's a 3-point Boston lead. Robert Parrish up top. Has been brilliant. 5 on the shot clock. Dennis Johnson got it. Beautifully done. He has 11. A 5-point game. 6:15 left. They clear the zone. 1-on-1. Rivers against Ainge. Now Livingston goes low, jumps. It won't go. The tip is good by Willis. His second basket of the night. He has 6.
Boy, the coaching staff of the Celtics, Jimmy Rogers, Chris Ford, are just, they're really into this ball game.
Bird over Livingston. I know I've repeated it 100 times, but Wilkins said about Bird, when you play him, you're looking into the eyes of an assassin. A great quote.
That's
offensive foul. Livingston pushed off. Boston has it back in a 5-point lead with 5:36 left. Led 39 seconds before halftime. 57-56. Dennis Johnson thought about it, didn't do it. They go to Bird. Parrish down low. Rivers knocks it loose. Parrish with 5 on the timer. Threw it away. Ainge couldn't handle the pass.
Well, the crowd was out of it after the DJ basket and the offensive foul, but that pass there has reignited them.
5:10 left. 96-91 Boston. Wilkins against McHale. Willis slams it home. Parrish gambled on the steal, didn't get it. Willis has 8-6 in the quarter. Atlanta down by 3. But Boston has the ball. McHale. Dennis Johnson against Rivers. McHale again against Willis. Hook. Score it and a foul. McHale with 25, his first points of the quarter. Willis picks up the foul, his 4th.
Kevin asking for the offensive foul, and he's not, of course, going to get that. With all the banging and bumping that was going on before McHale got the ball, you could be arrested on the street for doing that.
Boy, this is what the NBA playoffs are all about, a game like this. McHale has 26. Bird has 21. Ainge has 21. 99-93. You see the time remaining in Game 6 of this series. Willis, nowhere near, but he got his own rebound. Nowhere near again. Bird with the next one knocked away. He gets it back. Boston can go up by 8 with 4:05. Parrish. No. Doc Rivers has been all over this place. 3:50 left. Wilkins knocked away by Ainge, but he had to foul to do it.
The 4th team foul on the Celtics.
3 on Atlanta. 3:44 left.
But how many times can the Hawks continue to try and come back only to be thwarted? That's happened on several occasions here. And it's tough to dig yourself a hole and crawl out of it.
They're getting to the point where baskets are mandatory. Dominique over Dennis Johnson, in and out. He's had a bunch of those today. Again, Boston can go up by 8. Dennis Johnson crosses the line. 3:25 left. McHale against Willis. 7 on the shot clock. McHale, foul, Rollins. Atlanta is in some serious trouble, Rick Barry.
And both teams independently from this point forward. And this is where the experience of the Celtics usually comes into play. And they play so well down the stretch. Something they did not do in game number 5 at Boston Garden when they were up 98-97 and got outscored 10-0 by the Hawks.
Boston content to run some clock now. Bird against Livingston. 3:05 left in the game.
That's a tough one right there. That makes it 8 points with under 3 minutes to go. The Hawks have to try and score in each possession and come up with some big defensive plays the rest of the ball game.
And Atlanta has had a lot of trouble scoring. Rivers a 3-pointer. Boy, did they need that. That may have been the hoop that kept Atlanta alive, at least for now.
Now it's up to their defense.
Bird, Parrish sets the pick. Bird gets the open jumper, missed it. Rollins the rebound. Atlanta can move back to within 3 with 2:20. Rivers deflected away. Atlanta's ball with 2:19. Here comes Spud Webb, who was such a spark plug in the first half. Rollins goes out. Wilkins swings back to forward.
Chris Ford yelling to Larry Bird, Larry, take it to the hoop. Take it to the hoop. Don't take the jumpers. Try and get to the free throw line.
Spud Webb has 7 assists in this game. He teams with Rivers on the back line. 2:10 left. 5-point Boston game.
It's an interesting move because Ainge has been hot. Now he's got Spud on him.
Rivers, not this time. Rebound. Willis saves it. Back to Rivers it comes. Dominique Wilkins against Dennis Johnson. No, he got his own rebound. Down goes Bird. The ball goes to Boston. 1:48 remaining. Boston calls timeout. The situation is as follows. Boston has the ball. 1:46 left. The Celtics lead by 5.
Stop and then get a scoring play. That was a crucial play there with Wilkins with the ball. If he gets that, it puts him within range. There's a lot of time in the game. 5 points is not that much to overcome, but you must get a stop, and you know Bird's going to have the ball some portion of this clock.
Okay, Chuck Daly, and here we go. 1:46 left. Dennis Johnson against Rivers. Ainge against Wilkins. Bird is not flying on the baseline. Won't go. Willis the rebound, and Bird never did get the ball in that series. Cliff Livingston. Bird checks in. Rivers. Boy, he's had the ball a lot tonight. 1:18. He fades. He fires. Great clutch shot. 32 for Rivers. He has been brilliant.
Well, again, it boils down to defense, though, on the part of the Hawks. Again, they have to come up with the stop, as Chuck Daly likes to refer to it. Otherwise, they may be playing in Game 7.
You can see the players on both teams, as the old expression goes, sucking it up. Now they're exhausted. They're running on empty, but here's the ball game. Bird. Oh, what a pass. Ainge. Travel. No foul is called.
Look at the bench. The coaches of the Celtics can't believe it, nor can Danny Ainge. The thing is that he got fouled after the walk. That's why. Look at Casey Jones.
So Atlanta can move to within 1. Look again.
Watch it again. The great pass. Watch his feet. There he is. Jumped it. No, he got hit. I'll tell you that. They had a reason to be upset. He did not walk before he got hammered.
I think a big break for Atlanta. Let's see if they can capitalize. It's a 3-point game. Wilkins lost it. Got it back. Parrish blocked. Ainge with the ball. Ainge to the front court. A foul on Livingston. Danny Ainge came away with the ball there, and only 33 seconds remain.
Well, Dominique Wilkins had an unbelievable opportunity that time getting inside. Not able to convert on 2 different occasions. And the big block by Robert Parrish, who hasn't done a lot in this ball game, but he certainly came up with a key defensive play.
Ainge shooting 41% on the playoff.
And look at those 15 assists.
He's 4 of 5 from the foul line. Oh, a big miss. They're all big now, of course. 101-98 Boston. 4-point game. Timeout Atlanta. Timeout on the floor with 33 seconds remaining.
For it. If it gets too deep into the time, they're going to have to take the foul.
If they can get a good quick shot off, they can get 2 possessions to 1 for Boston, but it's got to be relatively soon with 33 seconds remaining. But again, you don't want to take a bad shot.
Here we go. Boston by 4. Wilkins to the hole. Once a 3-point play, gets 2. He's got 35.
Now they can still stop him and get the ball back.
But can they stop him? Both teams in the bonus.
About a 5-second 30-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock.
Dennis Johnson runs it. Wilkins plays Bird. Bird directing traffic. Gets the ball. 3 on the timer. No foul. They didn't get the shot away. 4 seconds left.
I can't believe it. Larry Bird had Dominique Wilkins in the air and didn't jump into and shoot the ball. That's amazing to me.
He must have looked and seen the wrong clock. For now, Atlanta with a chance to tie. 4 seconds left in the game. Let's look at that again.
Well, he may have been in a position where his balance was going backwards or something, but watch what happens here as he gets Dominique one-on-one. The Hawks don't send anybody at him. He's going to make the fake. There he is, right there. If he just goes for the shot, he's got a foul against Dominique. I am really shocked at that. We'll watch the play again. Larry Bird tries to make the pass. Kevin Willis goes up. He actually touches the ball. It'll go out of bounds off of Willis's hands, but the clock went off for 24-second shot clock violation, and that's why.
Here we go.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they kick the ball right back to Doc Rivers if he throws it in bounds and let him try and penetrate going to the basket. That might not be a bad option to have, but first of all, they probably will. I agree with Chuck. Look for Dominique Wilkins to begin with.
Here we go. Livingston, no. Boston has won the game. They went to Cliff Livingston. He did not get a real good shot up, and you've just got to tip your hat to this Boston Celtic team. They looked death in the face and dodged the bullet, at least for now. Game 7 in Boston on Sunday. Totals, highlights after this.